And so, to start the video for today, this question is what I posed. I'm just kind of talking through some terminology with the kids, making sure they remember what a lead term is, what the lead coefficient is, what the degree is, y-intercept, the right end behavior, the left end behavior, and pause for a second. And I see if I can add anything else. I think that's enough for now. I'm going to pause for a second, try to let you answer these. I'm going to give them letters. This is going to be A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, try to answer those. I'm going to pause for a sec. So I agree. The first one is 2x to the fourth. It tells us a couple things, but for right now, we just are supposed to say what it is. And like you said, lead coefficient, 2. Then the degree. What do you say, sir?
4.
4. It's just the biggest one. That's all. And that makes it the lead. Now, it's very common for us to like move that back into the problem further, so don't get tricked. Like if by accident, that's not in front, it won't be by accident. It's still the lead term. Okay, next up, the y-intercept. Parker, what did you say for y-intercept?
7.
Yes. The y-intercept is where you put in x is 0. And then both of those terms turn into zeros, so it's y equals 7. Okay, the right end depends on this. Can you tell me? The lead number is 2. Does that tell you the right end is up or down? And why are they both going the same way? Yes, if that's even, they both go the same way. You feel like you guys have all of these? Any questions about those? Okay, then the next kind of question looks like this. Y equals x minus 4, quantity to the third. Hope you remember what that does. And x plus 7 squared, that does something totally different. And just to make it extra juicy, that's a negative in the front. That means something's going to happen at the end. All right, now I want you to sketch this thing. And the 2 spots it goes through are really important. You know, where it hits the x-axis. You should know what those are. And you should know which way it goes on the right end and the left end. And then you should know where it's going to like, there's 3 things. It could cut through or pass through. It could bounce and it could snake. All right, see if you can make this look right. So like the answer might be something like that. Or the answer might, and that's not right. The answer might bounce one spot, maybe pass through at another, etc. Okay. I'll pause for a second. We'll give that one a try. Okay, Dice of Destiny are telling me to call on 1-1. It's you, sir. Tell me something you know about this thing. Any of the x-intercepts? Do you know if the right end's up or down? Do you know what the lead term is? Any of that stuff? Let's do the lead term together. All right, so if we do the lead term, it's going to involve that, and that. What do you think the answer is? If I put all those together? Correct, sir. So then is the right end up or down? Correct. And now look at this and this. They tell me 2 important things. Know what this part and this part tells me? They're called. Yep. There you go. Here's 4. Here's -7. Okay. Yes. Good question, but no, it's not. It's not -4. The question becomes this. What makes this part right here equal to 0? And then if there's a negative on that, -0 is still 0. Okay, so I get what you were thinking, but nope. Just what makes that part 0 and 4 would that make that part 0? +4. So, okay, so it's going to touch here and it's going to touch here. Do you remember what it's doing? There's bounces, there's snakes, and there's pass-throughs or cut-throughs.
For part where it's -7, it's a bounce.
That is a bounce. Good. Do you know what the other one's called? Snake. So if you know it's got to hit those two spots, it's got to bounce where the 7 is, and it's got a snake with the other one. Then how does it end? Down on the right, but how about the left end?
That's up.
Because why?
Because it's odd.
Because it's odd. Very good. Man, there's a lot of things to know on this. This one goes up, this one goes down. It's got a bounce at the 7, boing, and snake through this one. And if you don't really feel confident that you drew the snake thing right, you write the word snake right here. And at least you're telling me you know that that's called a snake through. Okay. If I had to get the y-intercept, I'd stick in x equals what? The y-intercept is where x is? 0. Okay, so I'd stick in 0 here and here. That would be a pain, but you'd have to just like calculate what that comes up to. Would be, let me think, negative 4 to the third is negative, then there's another negative, makes it positive. 4 times 4 times 4. I think that's 64. And then this one's 49, and 64 times 49 is some huge number I don't know, but it's positive, so at least I knew it went through a positive. Okay, that's about as hard as they could possibly get. So I'm feeling like you guys are really in a good place when it comes to this. So today, your only homework is we're going to talk a little bit more about the first 20 and any issues that you had in the past on the first 20. And then everybody is going to go take a first 20 again for 20 minutes, and the rest of the time will be yours. So that first 20 that we're going to take, again, it'll give you the better of your scores. So in other words, if you already have a 19 out of 20, just try for the 20 out of 20. There's not many people that are in that spot. Most of you guys are more like a 12 out of 20 or something like that. So I'd like to look at the first 20 and have you find a couple things. I want to do a couple practice. They may as well be ones you care about. So would you please, right now, look at these 3 choices of things from the first 20 and tell me which of these you think kids are more likely. Here, I'm going to throw out a -2 on this. Which do you think is the most likely to be marked wrong if I give you these 3 questions? This one? That one? Which do you think is most likely to be wrong, A, B, or C? Are there any of those that you think is difficult? If not, tell me the kind you keep getting wrong, and I'll be happy to do one of those. Any suggestions? Okay. Then I'm choosing this one. I think more people are going to have trouble with. I'm going to change this to one little thing. That's going to be 3 1/8. I think a lot of you won't be able to get that one right. Everybody try it once, and then I will make sure that you know how to actually do it. Pause for a second. Again, working on these basics, so important. Okay, let's see if you remember this. So the smart way to do this is figure out that the denominator needs to be a 16 or an 8. Either one of those would work as a denominator. Do you get it to be a little easier to use 8 as a denominator? Then I just have to times this one by 4 and 4. That gives me 4/8. And now I have 2 times 4 is 8, 9 to 11, 12/8. And this one, 3 times 8 plus 1, 24 plus 1 is 25/8. And 12/8 minus 25/8 is -20. Nope, it's not. It's -13/8. That was a tough one, I'll admit. Making sure I did it right. Yep, it is -13/8. Did anybody have that one right? Okay. All right, double checking to make sure I didn't screw something up. And next thing, yep, I screwed something up. Sorry. And that might be why nobody got it right. That first one, we got to go 2 times 8. We got to use the common denominator that we had. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This one's 20/8 minus 24, 25/8. There we go. -5/8. Did anybody have that one? All right. It's still only a couple people, but at least it's done properly now. All right. I think we should practice that one more time. 2 1/6 plus 3 2/9. Now, that was pretty nasty. Let's make it something nicer than ninths. Let's make it thirds. There. Get a common denominator. Get it all to be in like 14ths or something. And then add them together. Now, I want you to realize, like, this is something you learned in 3rd grade. Maybe 4th. And I know you might be like, oh, it's too long ago, I can't remember it. But you're smarter than you were back then. So you can learn this in 1 minute if you want to try. Two choices. Some kids are using 18ths, totally fine. Some kids are using 6ths, totally fine. They can both have a denominator of 6, or they can both have a denominator of 18. Either way works. Dice of Destiny. Who should I call out? Row 1, 2, 3, 4. Person 3. Parker, that's you. Wait, gotta tell me what you used. Did you use 18ths or 6? Okay, so then did you time this one by 2 and 2?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna rewrite it. 2 1/6 plus 3 4/6. Now in this case, we don't need to make those jumbo fractions. If you did, it would have been 13/6, but you didn't have to do that. And 18, 22/6, you didn't have to do that. You could just add the 3 and the 2 makes 5. And the 1/6 and the 4/6 makes 5/6. Raise your hand if you had 5 and 5/6. All right, any questions on that? This would have added together, and you would have had 35/6, but then if you reduce it, it comes out to 5 and 5/6. Okay. This is the part where I'm going to pause for a second while we pull up the first 20, and I want to put it in today's folder. So to finish up the video, just go, what we did to finish the hour was we had everybody go to the March 8th folder, which is just a few days ago. It's a blue folder that's probably 5 folders down from the top of my Schoology course. In the March 8th folder, you're going to find the first 20, and I set it so you can have 3 tries now, so take it one more time and try to get a better score than your previous score. It is set to highest score, so it'll give you whatever your best score is, so it can't possibly hurt your score. I said kids that had 19s or 20s could sit this one out because they've already proven mastery, so that's all I got for you for today.